Welcome back to Bird Dog Yoga with Blitz and I. Today we'll be working on if your hip flexors are tight and you're needing to lengthen them, as well as work on some glute work. Quick little burner here this afternoon. You will need a block if you have it. If you don't have a block, maybe grab a couple pillows, or if you have a yoga bolster, you can use that as well. And we'll go ahead and get started on our mat. This move, we're going to need our block, or go ahead and grab those couple pillows or a bolster if you need them or have them. We'll come on down to our backs. Lying down on your back, planting your feet down to the earth so you can lift your hips up. You'll slide the block or the pillows, the bolster underneath your spine, adjusting on the height here. You don't want the block super high, just tall enough to get those hips elevated off the earth. And from here, you want it right on that tailbone so that you can tuck your knees in and you feel nice and supported in your low back as if it's on the earth. Hugging the knees in. Keeping the right leg in, we'll release the left leg long, and we'll hold right here, trying to relax the left leg down towards the earth, giving that left hip flexor a chance to stretch out as you squeeze the right knee up and around the rib cage towards the right armpit. Hold right here for another 3, 2, and 1. Bring that left knee back in towards the chest and switch it out. Extend the right leg long. Relax the heel down to the mat the best you can. Trying to relax in the glute, pulling the left knee out and around the rib cage towards the armpit. Hold and breathe. For 3, 2, and 1. Hug it back in. We'll go back and forth, side to side. Extend the left leg long. Relax and breathe. 10-second hold. Another 3, 2, and 1. Left leg in. Release the right leg long. Really trying to squeeze into that left hip flexor as we relax in the right side. Hold. For 3, 2, and 1. Hug that right knee back in. Last time, left side, extend it long. Trying to really relax in the left leg, pulling the right knee up and in. Shoulders relaxed. Slight tuck to the chin. Last 3, 2, 1. Left knee in. Last side up and over towards the right. Release the right leg long. Relaxing in that right thigh. Hold the left knee in. Last 3, 2, 1. Hug the right knee in. We'll pause right here for a moment. Then from here, we'll release both legs long down to the mat, letting those hip flexors and the hips kind of melt over the block. You can adjust the height however you need to. If you need it a little bit higher, so you can really feel the stretch in those hip flexors. Trying to let the tailbone kind of melt over the edge of the block like a waterfall. Few more rounds of breath right here. Inhaling, see if you can find some space. And then melt a little bit deeper over the block in your exhale. And then gently bring the soles of the feet back down to the mat. Lift the hips up so you can relax down onto the tailbone. Cross the ankles. Give yourself a little rock up and down on your mat. Crossing the ankles and then coming into a tabletop position. From here, we'll step our right leg forward and your hands will be on the inside of the right foot. I like to bring the block underneath my left hand here just to get a little bit of height in the for the hips as if they're tight. Left hand stays down, and then you're gonna rainbow the right arm up and over, and then see if you can curl the left heel in, maybe tap the toes. Gently release, bring that right hand back through center, either onto the block or the ground. You can stay here with straight arms or maybe bend the elbows straight back, bringing the chest down to a hover. And then press into the hands, left hand stays down, rainbow that right arm up and over, curl the left heel in, try to tap the toes. And then gently release, right hand comes back down. Stay here with straight arms, or you bend the elbows straight back towards the thighs. and lower the chest to a hover. One more time, lift the chest up, left hand stays down, rainbow the right arm up and over, curl the heel in. This time grab for the outer edge of the left foot and try to pull the left heel in towards the glute as you let the right knee fall open to the side, stretching out that left hip flexor. Stay here and breathe. See if you can find some depth each round of breath. Inhale, find length in the spine. And then exhale, sink into the hips, pull the heel in. One more round of breath. Then gently release the left foot down, coming back through center, planting the hands, and then send the right knee back. Just sink back into a quick little child's pose. Let that go. Sway from side to side. Coming back up to your tabletop, switching over to the left side. Left knee will step, or left foot will step forward, and hands to the inside of the left foot. Block can come underneath the right hand. If you did so on the other side, take a moment to sink down into the hips. Right hand stays down. Sweep that left arm up and over towards the back of your space, and then curl the right heel in. Try to tap the toes. And then gently release. Left hand comes forward. Stay here with straight arms or bend the elbows straight back, bringing the chest to a hover. Lifting back up into the arms. Right hand stays down. Rainbow that left arm up and over. Curl the heel in. Tap. Gently release. Left hand comes back forward. Bend into the elbows. Find that hover, deepening into that left hip. Press into the hands one more time with that hold. Rainbow the left arm up and over. Curl the right heel in the best you can. Maybe you grab for the outer edge of the foot. Pausing and breathing here. Using your breath to settle in. Find some comfort in the discomfort here. Inhale, find space. Exhale, sink into this posture. Kind of pull the heel in towards your glute, letting the left knee fall out. Really opening up through the left shoulder. Then gently let that go, planting the hands, stepping that left leg back, and sinking back into that child's pose just for a moment, letting that go. Gentle sway from side to side. Coming back up to your tabletop. One more intense stretch, not intense stretch, but coming back up to your tabletop, moving into one more good stretch on the front side of the body into the hip flexors. Come on down to your shins. You can stay here with your heels underneath your glutes. This is enough of a stretch along the fronts of the thighs, or you start to bring your heels out towards the edges of your mat. So on the outsides of your glutes, you can sink your hip bones down into the earth. You can't quite get all the way down to the ground. The block is a wonderful thing to have underneath the hips just to bring the floor up to you. So you can really start to sink into this. If you're feeling any pain in the knees, this is a great option. Otherwise, you're sinking the hips all the way down to the earth. You can bring a slight separation in the knees. You don't want the knees necessarily out super wide, but you can definitely let them separate just a little bit and stay right here. Feeling this stretch along the front of the shins, the ankles. Pausing here if this is enough, or start to walk your hands back towards the back of your mat. If you're feeling ready, releasing down onto the forearms. Then one day you can release all the way down onto your back, kind of choosing your point of resistance, your point to stop. Trying to keep the shins glued to the earth, letting that tailbone tilt. You'll have this rounding in the spine that feels natural. Stretching out the front of the thighs up into those hip flexors. A few more rounds of breath here, using that breath. Let's take 2 rounds together. Inhale. And exhale. See if you can relax into it. I know it's not super comfortable. One more inhale. and exhale. Slow and controlled, the same way you went in, one step at a time, making your way out, kind of pausing at each transition, making your way up and out, planting your hands into that tabletop, extending one leg back, then the other, kind of getting that fresh blood flow back into the legs, back into the toes, the ankles. All right, and staying right here in this tabletop position, moving into some donkey kicks. We're working into our glutes now. We stretched out the hip flexors. Now we want to work into these glutes. So grounding down into the hands and into the knees, finding our tabletop position, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, belly up and in. I'll start on the left side so that you can see what we're doing here. Ground down through the right leg, start to lift and kick the left heel up towards the ceiling, and we'll take 5 pulses right here. 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Bring the left knee down next to the right. Send the left knee out to the side like you're peeing on a fire hydrant. Hold right here, pulse it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Bring it right back down to meet the right. Keep that left knee hovering. Send it right back up and back. Find that donkey kick. Pulse it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Bring it back down to that hover. Out to the side. Lift it up. Pulse it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Back down to that hover. We'll go 2 more times. Kick it up and back. Donkey kick for 5. Pulse it out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and breathe. Bring it back down to a hover. Up and out to the side. Pulse it out for 5. Flex the toes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Back down. One more time each side. Yes, you can. Send it up and back. Pulse it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, squeeze. Back down to that hover. Last time, up and out to the side. Pulse it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Bring it back down. Release the knees. Send the hips back. Quick little child's pose. Then come forward into the hands. We'll move into a half pigeon into that left leg that we just worked. So bringing the left shin almost parallel to the front of your space. Staying lifted just for a moment, walking that right leg long behind you. And then if it feels good, lowering on down to your forearms, stretching out the outside of that left hip. Just a round of breath here. Then gently come back up onto the palm. Shift the weight over into the left hip so you can bring the right leg up and around. We'll come on down to our back, moving into some single leg bridge lifts. We'll keep our left foot down on the ground and we'll send our right leg up towards the ceiling. Point and flex through the toes, roll out the right ankle just for a moment. Maybe bend into the knee, re-straighten it a couple of times. And then right leg goes up high. Take a little tiny micro bend in the knee if you need to release that right hip flexor. Walk the left heel nice and close to your glute, and we'll lift on up and hold right here. Pressing firmly through the left heel, extending through the right toes. Try to press and lift that left hip 1 inch higher. Hold right here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower the hips back down just for a moment. And then we'll lift it right back up. Hold it at the top. Squeeze the left glute. Breathe. See if you can take that bend out of the right knee as that leg starts to warm up. Press through the left heel. Hold right here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently bring the hips back down just for a moment. Last round. Here we go. Lift it back up. Press through the left heel and hold. Squeeze. Weight is in that left heel. See if you can float the left toes. Hold and breathe. Yes, you can for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently bring both knees in towards the chest. We'll plant the right foot down so we can cross the left ankle over the right thigh, moving into this figure 4 stretch. You can keep the right heel on the ground or start to lift the leg in towards the chest as you wrap around the back of the right thigh, trying to press the left knee out and away from you. Relaxing in the upper body. Letting that left side go. I don't know about you, but I can definitely feel that left glute. All right, here we go. Unravel the legs, kind of rock and roll yourself up, curling over the legs. We'll move into the other side. So finding that tabletop position, grounding down through the earth, pressing through the palms, belly up and in. We'll stay grounded down through the left thigh. Start to kick the right heel up and back into that donkey kick. Pulse it out for a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Bring it back in, then up and out into that fire hydrant. Pulse it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze. Bring it right back down. Kick it up and back. Pulse it out for 5. Belly is tight. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Bring it right back down. Up and out to the side. Pulse it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze. Bring it back down. 2 more rounds. Yes, you can. Send it up and back. Pulse for 5, 4. Rotate that right hip down. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Back down to that hover. Out to the side. Pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Right back down. 1 more round. Send it up. Kick and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze. Right back down. Bring it out to the side. Pulse it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. And then release the right knee down next to your left. Send the hips back. Quick little child's pose. Whew. Felt that on my left still. All right. Shift it forward, bring the right leg through, finding our half pigeon on this side. Staying lifted just for a moment, stretching out the left hip flexor. And then when you're ready, if the hips are nice and square, lowering down to your forearms. You can always lower down to a block. That's an awesome option as well. Nice long spine, lengthen forward through the crown of the head. Draw the right hip back, left hip rounds forward and down. We have those lovely single leg bridge lifts coming. You know it has to happen. We're almost there. Last little bit. All right, walk back up to your palms. Lower on down to that right hip so you can swing the left leg up and around. Come on down to your back. We've got this. Sole of the right foot stays down. We'll send the left leg high. Take a moment to roll out the ankle. Point and flex through the toe. Bend the knee a couple of times. All right, send the left leg high. Take that tiny micro bend in the knee. Walk the right heel in nice and close. We'll lift it up to the sky and we're just gonna hold. Pressing firmly through the right heel. Hugging our belly up and in. Squeeze the right glute. Hold and breathe. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring it back down to the mat just for a moment. And then lift it right back up, holding it at the top. Squeeze the glute. Extend the left toes the best you can. Press a little bit higher. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it right back down. Whew, we got one last round, almost there. Lift it right back up without even thinking about it. Hold it at the top. Press and squeeze. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it back down. Left foot comes down. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Find that figure 4 stretch. Your variation here, either left foot stays down or start to hug the thighs in towards the chest as you wrap around the back of the left thigh. Pressing the right knee out and away from you. Ooh, yeah, definitely feel that on the outside of the glutes. Gonna feel that for the next day or two. All right, uncross the legs. We'll plant the feet down. We're just going into a bridge lift just to stretch out the front side of the body. Don't panic. We're not gonna pulse or do anything crazy like that. So feet about hip width distance apart. Bring the heels in nice and close to the glutes, hands down by your side, and then lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Walk the shoulders underneath you and stay right here. Maybe interlace the fingers, pressing down into the palms, the heels to lift the hips. Lift the hips 1 inch higher, engage the quads. And then gently let that go. Let the knees just fall over towards the left side of your mat. Right arm reaches long into this twist. Gently come back through center. Twisting over towards the right. Just drop the knees to the right. Our left arm reaches out. And back through center. Give yourself another little hug. You can hang out here on your back as long as you would like. You're welcome to go through that whole series again if you want to. Otherwise, make sure you drink lots of water, stretch it out. Thank you so much for joining Blitz and I for this hip flexor lengthening and glute strengthening workout.